Now, if you see oil prices, that is one of the biggies, right? Oil prices are attempting a bottom formation. Now, there are calls for higher oil prices, and that keeps happening every now and then. But charts are indicating that oil might be primed for an advance. But typically, oil starts moving when there are events, global events, geopolitical events. All these events will have to happen. So we cannot give a major forecast on that because you need to be a student of geopolitics and you need to be a student of world events, etc., which I am not. I don't claim any knowledge in that area. मेरा कोई expertise नहीं है. इवेंट्स आएंगे तो फॉलो करेंगे और उसके इम्पैक्ट अपन ऑयल्स के चार्ट पे देख लेंगे और खुद ब खुद एक अंदाजा लगा लेंगे. फिलहाल ऐसा है कि ऑयल के जो चार्ट है, लॉन्ग टर्म चार्ट, दैट इज शोइंग साइंस ऑफ बॉटम फॉर्मेशन. साइंस ऑफ बॉटम फॉर्मेशन का ये मतलब ऑटोमेटिकली नहीं है कि यहां से बढ़ जाएगा. ये सिर्फ कहता है कि बढ़ने का संभावना ज्यादा है as opposed to घटने का. This is all that it means, right? Second, gold is near the highs and gold is looking very positive. Among all the metals, precious metals, gold is looking the best, right? Now, silver, which generally keeps pace with gold, is not seen to be in sync with gold at all. So here, gold is making a separate pathway by itself, and it has certain dynamics which is making it so. We don't have the time here to go into all the details about gold. Suffice to state that gold is trading near the highs and is looking positive. So those who are traders in gold should remain with a bullish bias on gold. Now, gold has separate set of investors. It does not really compete unless it goes very high. It does not really compete for the money that goes into equities. हमारा जो focus है वो largely equities है. So gold is looking good. So it might, for those who follow, gold is okay. Base metals. Now, base metals are all seen ranging, right? But without showing weakness. So यहाँ जो base metal market है, copper है, lead है, aluminium है, zinc, ये सब एक रेंजिंग एक्शन में है और इसमें कोई लंबी तेजी मंदी की दोनों के अभी सिग्नल है नहीं. सो दे आर ऑल्सो नॉट गोइंग टू शो एनी बिग वीकनेस. नेचुरल गैस, ये एक बहुत जबरदस्त वॉलेटाइल मार्केट है. देर आर मेनी पीपल हु लव प्लेइंग नेचुरल गैस बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स फैंटास्टिक अमाउंट ऑफ वॉलेटिलिटी. Fortunes are made and lost in it. This is seen weak, but it is near long-term bottoms on the chart. तो नेचुरल गैस की जो चार्ट है, करंट प्राइसेस आर नियर लॉन्ग टर्म बॉटम्स. तो अब इस भाव से मंदी करने का उचित नहीं है. तो and this is also a very seasonal thing, so you got to watch out for more such factors, not just what you see as tops and bottoms, because they tend to extend for long periods of time. अच्छा, ये सारे चीज आपको दिखेंगे गोल्डमैन सॉक्स commodity index. That is the most widely followed index for commodities. Now, Goldman Sachs commodity index is into a corrective move, right? And according to the way that I have read that chart, it seems to me that it is likely to remain in a corrective because you got oil bottoming, but it will take time to go up. Base metals are ranging, natural gases are at the bottom, etc., etc. Gold is the only one which is looking positive. So when you take a basket collectively, it might still remain in a kind of a corrective. So long and short of this is all associative indicators, whether you take global markets, you take currencies, you take bonds, you take commodities, I am not seeing any bearish input coming in of a sustained nature. मतलब ये long term nature का कोई मुझे bearish input दिखाई नहीं दे रहा. ठीक है. So this is why I've said that I don't expect that market will become overly bearish, right? Of fund flow analysis. What is this fund flow analysis? I'm using FI flows and DI flows, right? And I'm using FI and DI flows and trying to correlate it with the movement of the index. And this movement of the index I am again taking from 2020 bottom. ये जो 2020 की बॉटम है वहां से तो इंडेक्स चली. यहां पर मैंने 3 इंडाइसेस दिखाए हुए. The 3 indices I have used is, one is our Nifty, which represents a large cap, or the other one I have used is the mid cap index, which represents the HNI, ultra HNI segment who patronize that area quite a bit, also little bit from smaller funds, etc. And then I've used also the small cap index, which represents the retail end of the money, right? And I have various annotations here. तो यहाँ पर एक green triangle आप देख रहे हैं, annotated as strong FI buying. Now this phase, which began from somewhere around April of 2000 or May of 2020, वहां से लेकर के एग्रेसिव एफआई बाइंग केम इन. उसके साथ साथ दूसरे अन्य बाइंग भी आए, बट द मोस्ट significant aspect of this rise was aggressive FI buying. Now this aggressive FI buying, it went on till somewhere in the middle of 2021. It stopped meaning it didn't stop abruptly and change, it just eased off in its intensity. Market still चलते रहा, और ये जो मई के बाद है, 21 अप्रैल के बाद, for a long period right up till May of April of 2023, the FI selling seems to have continued. In between, there was a period when there was very aggressive FI selling. That is put here as a thing. But this aggressive FI selling was also met by very aggressive DI buying. अगर DI इधर जम के मुकाबला नहीं करते FI selling के, तो ये मार्केट जरूर नीचे आ जाता. But they managed to hold it up, right? And then the DI selling, अच्छा यहाँ से लेकर के करीब करीब after about April, May of around 2020, later part of 2020, the retail money started coming into the market also very actively. We'll talk more in detail about that also, but retail money coupled with DI money were more than a match for the FI selling. और यहाँ पर चल करके मैंने एक पॉइंट यहाँ मार्क किया है. दिस इज द जून 2022 wala bottom, which I'm calling as an inflection point in the market. Now, why is this an inflection point? Because यहाँ पर जो aggressive selling थी FI की, वो यहाँ पर एक climax हो गई. And the FI even though FI selling continued a little more, the climactic selling ended in June of 2022. And you can see all the three indices made a bottom over there. And this was a significant higher bottom compared to what we had seen. और यहाँ से यहाँ तक जो मार्केट चला था, ये 7,500 से लेके it reached about 18,000, 11,000 पॉइंट्स की rise थी ये, which was something really phenomenal. You have to understand that the bottom of the Nifty was 7,526 and it went up 11,000 points from there, which is like huge, right? And here all of them stopped. So this I'm calling as an inflection point. Is inflection point के बाद the market trends started to flip back to bullish. All indices started to rise. एक phase आया यहाँ पर, while FIs were still selling, DI की buying जो है for a short period here became very aggressive once again. So it is really the DIs which created yet another higher bottom, which happened in March of 2023. So the DI and our own money, the retail money, has been singularly responsible for creating the second higher bottom after the significant inflection point. और उसके बाद FI की buying return हो गई, DI की buying continues, and the retail money flow is also continuing. That is what this whole chart is showing. And let's see the conclusions that I have drawn from this, which I have put down. So before speaking about the conclusion, let me also call your attention to what is happening with the retail. See, FIDI का तो अपने को पूरा जो फिगर्स है वो सब मिल जाता है, डे वाइज मंथ वाइज सारे आपको अवेलेबल है. लेकिन जो रिटेल पब्लिक का जो पैसा आता है उसका इंफॉर्मेशन कम रेगुलरिटी के साथ मिलता है. तो SIP जो है, SIP ट्रेंड्स इज वन ऑफ द क्लियरेस्ट इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ हाउ रिटेल मनी इज फ्लोइंग. और ये एक शॉर्ट टर्म चार्ट है, जनवरी 21 से लेकर के जुलाई 23 के जो फिगर्स है वो भी It just came out yesterday or day before or something. And we can see right now that SIP AUM is at its highest, right? So the money flow to the market from retail is still continuing quite aggressively, right? So I want you to see this pathway, right? And it is at the highest. This is actually at 8.3 lakh crores. That is what is the AUM which the SIP funds have gone, right? And now this other short, it shows growth in SIP accounts. और ये SIP accounts का जो growth है, ये 33 million है. These are the number of new SIPs, right? Minus the number of, these are the what has been closed and this is what has been added. So net of these two has been something like 31 million account, right? So that is the addition. And then what is the value, average value of the SIP amount? That average value has now increased to 1,22,000, which means what? That people are contributing into SIP. The number of people doing so, opening new SIP accounts are increasing, and they are putting in more money than they have been doing in the past. Now, this is very significant information. It means that retail money will continue to flow to the market in larger and larger amounts, and that will continue to act as a cushion, right? FI money comes and goes, because if country A becomes more attractive compared to India, there will be many people who will withdraw money from India and go and put it in country A, right? That is how FI money flows. DI money, we have flows into mutual funds and we have flows into SIP accounts. Please understand that these are two separate flows. तो म्यूचुअल फंड के फ्लोज भी बढ़ रहे हैं और एसआईपी के फ्लोज भी बढ़ रहे हैं. म्यूचुअल फंड के फ्लोज जो है दैट गोज इनटू अ वैरायटी ऑफ प्लेसेस. बट मेन पॉइंट क्या है कि ये जो एसआईपी का जो रुपया आता है उसका 90% और 90% ऑफ दैट इज इन्वेस्टेड इनटू इक्विटीज ओनली. सो दैट इज वेरी क्रिटिकल. इफ एसआईपी अमाउंट इज ग्रोइंग, number of accounts are increasing, and the average number, average size of investment is increasing, and all of that is going to hit the equity markets, then I think equity market is going to have a problem of plenty rather than deficit, right? So this is an important aspect. So SIP flows, like I said, 8.3 lakhs crores of AUM, which is at a new high. Acha. Now this constitutes 20% of monthly flows into mutual funds. जुलाई के जो अपने फिगर्स आए थे, ये 20% थे जो म्यूचुअल फंड में गए पैसे. Now that is a big percentage and it is increasing, right? It would, now to give you a perspective, जुलाई में 15,500 crore के, this month we had investment in SIP. In March of 2020, which is the recent past, we had only 8,600 crores coming into it. और बीच में जब भी मार्केट रिएक्शन हो गया तो एसआईपी का रुपया भी घट गया था. बट currently this is almost gone to twice of what it was earlier, and 15,500 crores. I expect that this amount will keep increasing. It has been increasing very steadily over the years, and that is a figure to watch. Now SIP AUM, SIP का जो AUM है ये 8.3 lakh crore जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, that is growing at 30% per annum. You know, the growth as compared to 15% per annum for mutual fund growth. So mutual fund, okay, the base may be different and therefore the figures could look up, but this is also telling you that SIP is now a significant area, and those who are not doing SIP should definitely look at that as a route. Those who are investing directly, वो तो ठीक है, but जो invest नहीं कर रहे हैं, SIP के माध्यम से आप कर सकते हैं. I have other things to say about it also. Total SIP accounts is now 68 million. Now 68 million is a large figure. 68 million accounts, and added in June was 3.31 million. So in a single month we added about 3.31, and like I said earlier, 90% of the money is invested into equities. So a lot of money is coming into equities. So equity markets are likely to remain buoyant. Now, what is the short of all saying all this? So conclusion from fund flow. What is the conclusion from fund flow? Buying by all. जैसे मैंने कहा, एसआईपी का भी पैसा आया, डीआई का भी पैसा आया और एफआई का भी पैसा आया। दिस ड्रोव फ्रॉम मार्च 2020, वहां से जो लंबा राइज जो आया। डीआई एंड रिटेल मनी, क्योंकि एफआई रुक रुक गई थी अक्टूबर 2021 के बाद, उनकी एग्रेसिव सेलिंग शुरू हो गई थी। बट डीआई एंड रिटेल मनी इज डोमिनेंट आफ्टर अक्टूबर ऑफ 2021। एफआई बाइंग इज बैक फ्रॉम मार्च 2023, जो मैंने हायर सेकेंड हायर बॉटम बताया था आपको चार्ट में, वहां से एफआई बाइंग हैज रिटर्न टू our markets, and that is why we are again having a swift run up for the last about 4 months. अच्छा, इसके बीच अपन ने देखे 1 year correction from October 21 to September 22। इसके बीच ही मैंने आपको बताया था there was aggressive battle between FIs and DIs। जितने माल एफआई ने फेंके, डीआई ने काफी सारा माल उसमें से उठाया and prevented the market from going down very much, right? So the DI really took the challenge to the FIs, coupled with flow from individual retail funds also. All stocks saw good correction during the September, during this phase, October 22 to September 22 में सारे stocks में, large cap, mid cap, small cap, all of them saw very good correction. For example, IT sector went down by 30%, including the leaders. Infi, TCS भी 30% घट गए. So many stocks, pharma ले लो, आप autos ले लो, कोई भी sector ले लो, blue chips ले लो, all of them were down 20% to 25% to 30%. तो ये एक very large level correction होता है, right? So they underwent a good amount of correction. Good correction हो गया, इसका क्या मतलब है कि prices will reach areas of good valuation. अब वैल्यूएशन एक इंडिविजुअल परसेप्शन है, एक निजी परसेप्शन है कि मैं सोचता हूं ये चीप है या ये एक्सपेंसिव है। बट कलेक्टिव वैल्यूएशन इज व्हाट इज द मार्केट। मार्केट इज द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ वैल्यूएशंस ऑफ एवरीबॉडी पुश्ड इनटू द प्राइस। इसीलिए प्राइस स्टडी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इट रिप्रेजेंट्स द कलेक्टिव होल of everyone's perception based upon everyone's pieces of information, access to, ability to interpret, etc. Right? और सितंबर 22 के बाद जो एक दौड़ शुरू हुई है, आई एम कंसिडरिंग दैट एज अ न्यू फेज ऑफ द ongoing uptrend. So I have been quite bullish on the market from towards the end of last year, and especially after March, one has turned kind of doubly bullish. Now, टू ड्यूरेबल हायर बॉटम्स जो मैंने आपको चार्ट पे दिखाया था, एक जून 2022, जिसको मैंने बताया ये इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट है, क्योंकि वहां पर एग्रेसिव सेलिंग खत्म हो गई, एग्रेसिव बाइंग से मैच हो गई, सारे लार्ज कैप इंडेक्स, मिड कैप इंडेक्स, स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स, सारे ने हायर बॉटम बनाए और वहां से रिवर्स हो गए। सो मार्च 2023 में एक और हायर बॉटम बना। हायर बॉटम का सिग्निफिकेंस है कि पीपल आर इन अ हरी टू बाय। देखिए, जब जनवरी फेब मार्च 2023 में मार्केट गिर रहा था, तो सबको ये 15,200 का जो इंडेक्स की जो आंकड़ा थी जून 22 के, वो तो सबको विजिबल था, एंड एवरीबडी वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि वहां तक तो मार्केट रिट्रेस कर जाएगा। बहुत सारे लोग ने वाणी दी थी कि भाई 15,000 भी तोड़ तोड़ जाएगा, 12,000 पे पहुंचेगा, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, ऑल दिस वेर देयर। Now, in the light of something which is visible and which is there in front of everybody, उसके बावजूद एक हायर बॉटम बनता है, तो इसका सिर्फ एक ही मतलब निकलता है कि पीपल आर एंशियस टू बाई स्टॉक्स, नॉट सेल देम। एंड वहां पर इतना कोई रीजंस भी नहीं थे कि क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट्स वेर नॉट सो बॉइंट। जो वैल्यूएशन पर्सपेक्टिव थे उस पर कोई कॉन्सेंसस नहीं थी कि द मार्केट वाज एट अ बॉटम। उसके बावजूद एक वेरी ड्यूरेबल हायर बॉटम बना और वहां से बहुत जबरदस्त बढ़ोतरी आई। चार महीना अभी भी चल रही है, वॉट एवर। सो आई थिंक जून 22, मार्च 23, टू ड्यूरेबल बॉटम्स। इसीलिए वो दो बॉटम्स के जो है, ये मुझे नहीं लगता पर्सनली 15,200 की जो बॉटम बनी थी जून ऑफ 2022, ये अगला 10 से 15 साल नहीं टूटेगा, ऐसा मेरा आज की तारीख पे जो एविडेंस है, मेरे अनुमान ये है कि 15,200 का जो बॉटम है वो अगले 10 साल तक टूटेगा नहीं। तो ये अपने सामने एक स्टॉप लॉस रख के अपन we can do a lot of work in the market. This is my expectation. This is how I do my work today. अगर आप इससे सहमत हो तो आप भी काम कर सकते हैं. Otherwise, you can draw your own conclusion. The current rise from March 23, ये मेरी आगे की expectation है, should continue, right? This should continue with minor corrections. करेक्शन तो जरूर आएगा. अभी जो चल रहा है जुलाई 20 का टॉप से जो चल रहा है वो माइनर करेक्शन. ये माइनर करेक्शंस विल बी पार्ट ऑफ एनी अप ट्रेंड. कोई अप ट्रेंड वन लाइन में तो जाता नहीं है. सो अभी 4 महीने की कांस्टेंट दौड़ चली है मार्च बॉटम से लेके जुलाई एंड तक, तो उसकी थोड़ी बहुत तो करेक्शन होगी जिसका अपन ने बॉटम लगा दिए हैं. सो दैट इज वेयर वी आर लुकिंग एट विद माइनर करेक्शन टू ऑल टाइम न्यू हाइज अहेड. दैट इज व्हाट इज आवर एक्सपेक्टेशन. तो ये जो सवाल अपन बहुत लोग पूछते रहते हैं कि 20,000 के आगे जाएगा मार्केट, I am 100% certain that markets are headed not just about 20,000 but well above, and they will continue further. अगले साल election year है. Compared to the earlier years, I don't think you will have a pre-election nervousness. There are many people who expect things will happen, things are difficult, etc. I am not among those who expect any problems for the ruling party in the next election. So I do not expect any pre-election nervousness. There may be some consolidation, but that is not weakness. So I think once that event is done and over with, which will happen by May, elections typically happen in May, and that is in 2024 May. And then uske aage, give it a month or whatever, month and a half, two, and then things settle down. And I think the uptrend will be in force again. And there is something that people who are interested in WD GAN work, they may be aware of. So GAN in his commodity course had written way back that how a decade will generally pan out. So in that plan, he says the third year of the decade, there's a 2023, it lays the foundation for the bull market ahead. And the fourth year of the decade begins a bull market, and it takes a lot of strength in the fifth year of the decade. So 2024-25, and then the bull market reaches a kind of a peak in the sixth year of the decade and then leads to some correction. तो 2024-25 अगर अपन ज्ञान ने जो बताया उसके अनुसार अगर मार्केट को चलना है तो 2024 और 25 शुड बी बुलिश ईयर्स, जिसका फाउंडेशन अब बनाया हुआ है. तो मैंने फाउंडेशन आपको बताया. जून 2022 के जो बॉटम है वो मुझे टूटते नजर नहीं आता है अगले 10 मिनिमम अनदर 10 ईयर्स. और मार्च 2023 की जो बॉटम है, it may get retested, but I don't seriously think it will be broken. I think there will be higher bottom retests, if anything, to that March bottom also. So this is what I expect, new highs to be made. अब कितना बनेगा, कब बनेगा, क्या बनेगा, वो सब अगले वेबिनार के लिए रखेंगे. So that will be a topic for the next webinar, right?